You ever move somewhere thinking your biggest problem's gonna be raccoons? Yeah, me too. That's what I thought Lakeside Glen would be. Peace, a little lake breeze, maybe a trash panda or two messing with my cans at 3 a.m. I was so wrong. It's actually kind of impressive. Turns out, the real threat comes in pastel cardigans with a blonde bob helmet and a security badge she definitely ordered off the internet. Her name was Karen, and, at least in her mind, she ran this neighborhood. I found that out 3 days after closing. It was 6:47 in the morning, dark, birds not even up yet, when someone started banging on my gate so hard, you'd think she was summoning medieval soldiers. I stumble outside, half asleep, and there she is, chest out like a mall cop, announcing that she needs a key to my gate. Not wants, needs. Like she was collecting them for some kind of suburban master keychain. And, when someone starts with community safety, you just know they're about to make your life interesting in the worst way. Her voice? Imagine a smoke detector with opinions. She tells me, as head of the neighborhood watch, she must have access to every gate. I ask her what organization she's with. She gets this proud look and says, Neighborhood Watch, in partnership with the HOA. I tell her I'm not part of the HOA, and my house isn't under their jurisdiction. For a split second, she freezes, like a Roomba that hit an impossible wall. Jaw drops, no words. And then, she squints, gives me a smile so tight-lipped you could slice cheese on it, and just walks away. Not yelling, not threatening, just sashaying off with the energy of a woman about to commit arson, allegedly. I wanted peace, a little remote work, a slice of land by the water. But clearly, that wasn't on the HOA-approved agenda. Later that day, I see her again, walking real slow along my fence, clipboard out, scribbling notes like she's building a case file for law and order, suburban unit. I try not to notice, but she wants me to. Every time I glance over, she waves like we're best friends, and she's planning my surprise party. Yeah, right. If that was a warning shot, I got the message loud and clear. This wasn't going away on its own. That gate. One of the main reasons I bought this house. Solid steel, looks like something out of a fancy Napa vineyard. All hooked up to a privacy fence and a keypad. Key was just for me. Symbol of safety. Of independence. I worked too hard for both to hand them over to someone who thinks community means control. But by week's end, Karen went from nosy to full-on campaign mode. She cornered delivery drivers, interrogating them about gate codes. She ranted to neighbors about aggressive fortifications. When the landscapers clipped too close to the fence, she ran up, shrieking that she needed to inspect their equipment. Every time passive aggression failed, she got more creative. One evening, I come home to a letter taped to my gate, all legalese and threats about mandatory compliance, demanding I hand over a key or face procedural consequences. Signed, who else? Karen. Not the HOA president. Just Karen. I laughed, but I'll admit, it left me queasy. Because if you've ever dealt with someone like her, escalation is inevitable. And sure enough, Saturday morning, I get a visit from the local cops. Apparently, there was a report about illegal gating. They check the deed, look at the gate, roll their eyes so hard I thought they might sprain something, and apologize for the hassle. Not their first Karen call, they admit. As they leave, she's outside, yelling about loopholes and favoritism. The cops ignore her. I realize ignoring her isn't enough. This isn't just drama, it's about control. I'm not giving her leverage. If she wants a war over my gate, fine, I'll make the gate meaningless. So I make a few calls. My property's got an old overgrown service road on the far side, behind the shrubs, forgotten. I call a contractor, ask him about clearing it and putting in a new gate, a private entrance where Karen can't see or touch a thing. While I wait on the schedule, I collect every document I can, plat map from the county, another letter from the sheriff. Everything says I'm in the right. But before the work can start, she makes one last push. I get home to find my keypad ripped off, wires hanging, muddy boot prints everywhere. And guess who's out front, watering her driveway with a hose? She sees me, flashes that same fake smile, and says, the keypad was acting suspicious. I was just doing maintenance. I just stare, because if I open my mouth, it's gonna be ugly. That night, looking at my busted gate, I finally accept she's not stopping. She believes order only exists if she's in charge. and she's terrified by neighbors who don't play by her rules. Time for offense. If Karen wants my key, she's about to get the biggest plot twist Lakeside Glen's seen. I set the plan in motion. The original gate becomes a decoy. The back entrance is my new front door. I call Ethan, my contractor. Explain the mess. He laughs, says he'll bump me up the list. By Monday, his crew is ready. I can already picture Karen guarding the wrong gate while I come and go from the road she doesn't even know exists. While the work starts, I keep up appearances, using the front like nothing's changed. Karen doubles down, standing in her yard like a judgmental garden gnome, ranting about community unity. Whenever she sees me, I just smile-wave. Nothing bothers a control freak like apathy. Saturday, I catch her on my property again, measuring the fence line. Emergency vehicle access, she mumbles. Yeah, sure. The only disaster here is her personality. Later, the actual HOA president, a guy named Mark, tired eyes, nice enough, shows up. Says Karen's been filing complaints nonstop, demanding action. He admits I'm not even in the HOA. Asks if there's any way to get her off his back. I tell him I've got it handled. He looks relieved, no idea what's coming. Sunday night. I hear clanking. Look outside. And there's Karen with a headlamp and tape measure, taking notes like she's prepping for a SWAT raid. Safety report, she says. I remind her, again, no authority on my land. She waves her clipboard like it's a police badge. I shake my head and go back inside. Monday, the contractors roll up. Karen rushes over, arms waving, demanding answers. Ethan just smiles. Tells her it's private work. She storms off, muttering like a Disney villain cut off mid-monologue. By noon, the new road's taking shape. I document everything, every encounter, every note. Not because I want drama, but because with people like her, you need insurance. Turns out, a bunch of neighbors have Karen stories, ticketing kids for riding bikes too fast, lecturing old couples about wind chimes, even calling animal control on a poodle for barking. By the time the new entrance is finished, gorgeous wooden gate, new keypad, motion light, I feel like I've already won. Next day, I drive out through the back entrance for the first time. Karen sees it all, just stands there, frozen, while I give her a little wave. She rushes over to harass the contractors. Too late. Her imaginary power's gone. Of course, she leaves a new letter on my gate. Now it's obstructing emergency routes. Still just signed Karen. Almost admire the dedication. Almost. Then Mark calls. Karen's calling an emergency HOA meeting, rallying everyone, painting me as a threat. I agree to show up, just to get the story straight. When I arrive, Karen's in a red blazer, already mid-speech. About the dangerous outsider. She accuses me of running a fortress, running secret activities in the woods. People are stifling laughter, others just look exhausted. When I get my turn, I calmly explain, not in the HOA. Here's the deed. Here's the sheriff's letter. Mark confirms it all and politely tells Karen to stop filing fake complaints. She grins. So wide it's painful, says she's just protecting the community. Mark suggests she protect what's actually under HOA control. A few neighbors apologize to me afterward. One old guy whispers she tried to make him repaint his mailbox 3 times. Karen's empire, it turns out, is built on fear and paperwork, not authority. Back home, Karen's waiting, arms crossed, SUV idling. When I wave, she storms off. Next morning, there's a city inspector at my front gate, Karen's latest trick. I hand over the paperwork. He leaves in 5 minutes, muttering about wasted time. Karen calls him corrupt. She starts photographing my new gate. Spreads rumors that I'm running some illegal operation. One neighbor asks if I keep wolves. I say, only on Thursdays. He blinks twice, then laughs. Then she stands in the driveway, blocking my car, demanding I explain myself. I just drive away, using the new road. Her yells echo behind me. When that doesn't work, she shifts tactics, claims the back road is shared infrastructure, and pushes for an HOA vote to seize it. I check the legal documents. Nope. The county owns that strip, not the HOA. She has no say at all. If she pushes harder, she'll be the one in legal trouble. But here's the twist. While digging through county records, an employee tells me, casually, that there's no property registered under Karen's name. The real owners? The Stinsons. Retired couple, renting it out. They've never even met Karen. Turns out, She's not the owner, not on the lease. She's squatting. Built an entire fantasy empire on someone else's property. I call Mark, ask about Karen's credentials. He admits no one ever checked. She just showed up one day, loud and insistent, and took over. I gather more evidence. Sheriff's office has no record of her. Former board member says she once tried to issue speeding tickets she made herself. Neighbors have stories that sound like comedy sketches, if they weren't so exhausting. I let Karen know, gently, that I know the Stinsons own her house. She stutters, denies, tries to gaslight me. But she's unraveling now. Complaints pile up. Now my gate interferes with her Wi-Fi. She tapes a wolf. Picture to my mailbox labeled evidence. One night, she's caught on camera sneaking around my gate with a flashlight at 2 a.m. I email the property manager, include video of her trespassing, and get a quick response. They'll handle it. The neighborhood starts to breathe. People thank me. Karen senses the walls closing in. Then, the big reveal. Property managers confirm she's not on the lease. She gained access by sweet-talking a housekeeper and never left. She's officially a squatter. Her kingdom, built on someone else's land. The managers coordinate with authorities. Eviction clock starts ticking. Karen, sensing the end, goes from harassment to full-blown panic. She leaves printouts warning of outside threats, tries to recruit neighbors to stand guard. They don't. She's alone. Then, the final meltdown. I catch her at night, crowbar in hand, trying to pry open my old keypad. She's yelling that she's investigating critical infrastructure. I film her. She screams that I'm endangering the community, that it's my fault. I tell her to go home. She's only making it worse. She stumbles off, defeated. Within 2 days, the eviction notice arrives. The real tenant returns with the sheriff. Karen answers the door, robe askew, wild-eyed. She tries to shut the door, they stop her. She yells about being neighborhood watch captain. But nobody listens. She's escorted out, sobbing, clawing for attention, blaming me for everything. Neighbors watch from behind curtains. The reign of Karen is finally over. But, of course, it's not quite done. That night, she storms down the street, screaming at mailboxes, slamming fists. A tornado of rage and denial. She takes one last shot at my gate, ripping at it, blaming me for everything. I tell her respect is earned. She screams she earned it by keeping out chaos. I remind her she was the chaos. She bolts, disappears into the darkness. A few nights later, she returns, tries to ram the new gate with a metal post. Cops come, find her sobbing on the grass, broken. She's taken for psychiatric help. And for the first time in years, Lakeside Glen is quiet. Kids play, wind chimes ring, the air feels lighter. Mark jokes I should join the neighborhood watch. I say, only if everything's in writing. We share a laugh. The real tenant moves in. We clink beers over the fence, each swearing to never hand a key to a stranger again. What did I learn? Control doesn't make a place safe. Respect does. Not the kind Karen tried to force, but the kind you build, quietly, day by day. My old front gate still stands, a monument to her illusion. My real entrance is in the back, where reason, not ego, keeps me safe. And sometimes, when the wind's right, I still hear it. A faint whisper, I need that key. But all it ever was, really, was an illusion, one that finally, and rightfully, vanished. So, let's hear it. Have you ever had a neighbor like Karen? Was it justice? Or just a long overdue reckoning? Drop your wildest HOA stories, your takes on control versus community, right down below. I know I'm not the only one with a tale like this. Let's debate. What does real justice look like where you live? And hey, if you've still got your keys, hang on tight.